Hello, hello, and hi. This is Angel Yvette. Welcome to Limitless Light. I'm here to read for you today. So pull up a seat and let's get into it. But before we do get into it, I want to clarify what I'm reading for. So this reading is happening on the 14th of March. We are a week out from a huge event, which is the spring equinox and the start of not only Aries season, but the astrological year. So it's really beautiful. It doesn't make sense that the year starts in winter, Anyway, I'm really excited to get into this reading. I'm going to be using these three decks. There's also some updates. I guess I should give them now. I don't know because I'll be out of town for the next full moon. I don't think that I'll be able to go live, and I don't think that I'll be able to upload before then. So I'm going to post the reading on Instagram. If nothing else, I'll try to do a short. And yeah, be sure to follow, like, share, subscribe, all that, whatever the terminology is for YouTube. Subscribe, I believe. And be sure to comment if this resonates with you in any way. All right, let's get into the decks. So I was a little on the fence with which decks. My energy was not totally feeling any particular deck other than the Oracle. So I decided to try to do something new. Old Trusty will not be featured in this video, giving Old Trusty a break. But we do have a deck that I've only featured in a few TikToks before, like back in the day, like 2021. And that is the Cat Tarot, and I'm going to be using that for the main message. I'm going to be using the Illuminated Tarot for clarification and any just to concise the messages of the reading. And then for the Oracle, I will be utilizing the Sacred Geometry activations. So we're going to get started with the Oracle. Thank you, Divine. Thank you for bringing us here today. Thank you for bringing everybody to this video. Thank you for watching. We're reading for the new moon Aries. That's happening a week from now. The new moon will be occurring at 10:23 Pacific Standard Time. Be sure to check what time that is for you from wherever you're watching, geographically speaking. I watch a lot of videos about like plane travel today. They were quick videos, but planes don't fly over the Pacific Ocean. I didn't know that, but it makes sense now. Thank you, Divine. Thank you, Divine. What is the Oracle energy for this new moon Aries that's coming up in a week? Ooh, which is not only the new moon, it's so many things. And it feels good. It feels good. Yeah. Ooh, remembrance. Number 38. The frequency of remembrance supports our memory of everything we have gone through as a soul and body, providing us with valuable information and tools to flow gracefully with and in this life. Bottom of the deck, dynamic, number 23. This is what remembrance looks like. I'm going to go ahead and read the bottom of the deck energy. The frequency of dynamic supports our ability to harmonize between layers and aspects of different origin and frequency. It helps us to put together a reality that is made up of many different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. I'm going to put these to this side. I'm going to put remembrance right here. Actually, I have a card holder just there. And I'm going to put the bottom of the deck energy up. And we're going to get into the main messages for this Aries new moon in 2023. See what comes up for that. That's not a bad card to come up. Wow, it literally is 2. Okay, so that's 2 is 1. Because I thought it was 1. And I thought this was 1, but it's 2. So we have, let me actually do it this way. So we have 6 messages, or 5 messages that we're going to read with. So remembrance. Yes, I actually did this reading a few times and it botched. It's like it tests me and it tries me. You know what I mean? So I might post a little like carousel type of thing of those videos because they were each pretty long and they had some really interesting information in them that was really consistent. One being that we're sort of coming into this time, definitely of transition, definitely of establishment, of initiating. So I think with the Remembrance card coming out, it feels like in order to be able to move into this energy of establishing and into this energy of actualizing the fullness of our visions. Visions is a card that came out actually in another reading. Our visions and our goals, we can't forget why we're doing what we're doing. We can't forget how we got to where we are and expect to get as far as we'd like to be or like to get. So this is a time where we can really step into that energy, full force. Okay. So first we got the 10 of Cups. Or 10 of Bowls, I believe that the suit style is here. 10 of Cups is coming to that sense of actualization of love in its fullness, whether that's the love we're giving or the love we're receiving. It really goes hand in hand, I feel. Or being able to fully understand something that we're passionate about, or coming to a place where we're understanding how to better embrace that, those aspects of what we have passion for. I'm kind of under the weather, I'm sorry. I like sniffle and snort and it's gross and it sounds nasally and snotty. For the first two cards that came out after the 10 of Cups, we got the 8 of Pentacles reversed and the 7 of Wands. It's a little mind-boggling for me sometimes. Anyway, definitely a different kind of deck. So with this first message, these two cards that came out together that I thought were the first grouping, in terms of this remembrance and how to better fully actualize and embrace something that we are, an aspect that we are focused on and passionate about potentially, we must recognize the spaces, the times, the moments where we did not give as much as we could have given, or where we gave too much, or that we didn't give at all. Okay, we didn't give any of our attention to at all. And some of these things we may not know about, some of these things we may not have recognized in the moment. But with this 7 of Wands coming up, which for me is a big, like, taking a greater perspective of situations, it's up to us to go back and do that in accordance to whatever focus we have, whatever is pulling our attention and is harnessing our passions, or what is pulling our heartstrings, essentially, and making sure that those things don't go over, that they're not overthought, or that they're not hyper fixated on. This is a time to really embrace alignment, okay? Embrace our ability to align fully, heart, mind, body, and soul, and spirit. Align that with spirit, okay? I just got lost in what I was saying. It'll come back to me if it needs to. But yes, it's really important to harness our sense of perspective at this time. Maybe over the past few months, past 7 to 8 months even, there can be moments that we sort of allow that happen and we didn't pay much attention to them that could have more significance than we realize in terms of what we're focusing on at this given time going into this Aries new moon. The next cards that came out are the Page of Cups and then the Page of Swords reversed. We're going to see what this is, what read this is. So I feel this is relating to a time where we might have not been prepared. Scorpio season and Sagittarius season, those readings definitely drilled in the aspect of needing to plan. With the Page of Swords reverse, there's a potential that we did not take into account everything that need to be paid attention to in terms of fortifying our plans. Okay? We could have been distracted. This cat on the Page of Cups has their head in the toilet bowl, like submerged. Okay, so that distraction could have come from Ten of Cups. It could have been a focus, but focuses can also sometimes be distractions. And I'm gonna put this right next to it. There is enough space. I feel with this sense of perspective, we have to, a good thing to tap into is those things that we saw as love or loving things we had affinities for and passions for, that in actuality may not be the case. And this will take a great degree of honesty with ourselves, honesty and transparency. Page of Swords reversed. All right. With this Page of Swords coming out reverse underneath this Page of Cups, this can be something, a love affair we've been taking our time with. This can be something that we may actually feel defensive about and protective over, or that we are sort of stubborn about. I'm going to use the Illuminated Tarot to see if there's any clarification here. See what clarification comes out for this reading, please. The Jack of Hearts or the Knight of Cups. Doesn't matter which way I do it because it's going to be the same either way I go. Okay, so this is making more sense. Let me see if I can articulate it in the way that it's coming out. King of Pentacles on the bottom of the deck. There could have been a moment of temptation that we found ourselves in terms of love. Whether this is a relationship we've been in for a long time or one that we've been in within the past 7 to 8 months. Okay? And I don't want to say it like this, but it feels like the bait was taken. The bait was taken, and now that could have caused some of us to fully invest ourselves in relationships or businesses or things of that nature, that we didn't leave room to prepare for what comes next. This time is an opportunity to do that. With the Ten of Cups here and the Remembrance card coming out. Okay. 8 and 3 is 11. 38 is the card. 10 to 11. It's reminding us with the Ten of Cups that we have opportunities to remember those things that do make us feel that certain type of way, that excites us, that invigorates us, that triggers us positively. And understand that whatever we have invested in, we don't need to stay pigeonholed to. In one of the readings that I did for this event that I may or may not share, things just weren't working. The devil came out. And this is very much giving me that energy of feeling stuck to certain ideals or certain paths or projects or relationships that we have invested ourselves into over these potentially past 7 to 8 months or past 7 to 8 weeks, since January 1st or 14th. That's 8 weeks ago, I think. Okay, let's see if there's anything else from the Oracle for this reading. I also interchangeably use it as a tarot deck. Utilize it. Yeah. Some type of physical love, external love, possibly was entertained or has been entertained for the past 7 to 8 months. Whether that's a project or an idea, a belief, or either that's what's happened or that's what's about to happen for many of us. Let's see if I can put this guy here. And I think that this message also, it's now downloading for me that it's like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. And that idea of alignment, we want to delineate and give time and attention to the multiple elements that make us up as people. For me right now, for example, I'm getting into exercise like I never have before. Because of my disability with MS, I've realized for a while I can't exercise like everybody else. Okay? There's for me limits in that aspect, or rather boundaries that I've set in that aspect. Limits too, like if I try to ride a two-wheeler bicycle, which I have, it's not going to end well. It's just not. It hasn't. Okay? Even like specialized heighted bicycles can't do that. Okay? I had to find something for me, and luckily I had the influence of Dawn, my partner, to assist me in that. But I have found something that works for me, and that getting physical aspect outside of the house. So now I'm trying to do things inside of the house as well, other than the housework, that invigorate my body, retain the strength that I have, and maybe add a little more. That's one aspect. Love-wise, learning love languages between me and Dawn has been an interesting, lovely, frustrating roller coaster of existing. That's definitely come with that transparency and knowing what I could have done or what I can do to positively impact our relationship and different moments in our relationship, as well as holding both of us accountable for the things that we continue to do that don't honor our relationship too. That's relationships and health. Finances, I'm working on it, obviously. Not obviously, but yeah, it'd be great to be able to be a content creator and earn that way. On the other hand, I'm applying to jobs like crazy. It's really hard. I've been out of the job market for many years. There are boundaries with that as well, that the job market isn't necessarily set up to honor spiritually. I look to expose myself to things that definitely honor my spiritual pursuits. That means minding what I'm watching. That means minding what I'm listening to. It means that I'm developing my own relationship to spirit, to God, to source, and not giving all of my energy to one aspect. And then of course the cats. I let them sleep all day. And then we've been feeding them yummy wet food at night for dinner. And I've been talking to them, like I've been using my voice with them more. I've learned to use my voice and express myself with them because they are conscious beings. Even if they don't precisely understand what I'm saying, they know what I'm saying. So I'm going to just do a poll. This is the card that came out, number 8, the 8 of spades in this deck, which also, it's the 8 of swords, but it's also the Justice card, if you can tell, with the scale. However, it came out reversed. Under the Justice card, under the Justice card, 4 of hearts, under 4 of hearts, 7 of hearts, under 7 of hearts. Wow, it just keeps going. I'm not going to keep going. We have the Ace of Clubs, or strength, and then under that, we have the 5 of Clubs reversed. Free your mind and the rest will follow. When I say like there are possible ideas that we've held in high standards for the past 7 to 8 whatevers, months, weeks, years at least, this is a message in itself. Something hasn't been serving us. We've been stubborn and ignoring whatever it is. We haven't been embracing it. We've been letting it exist when there are options. Oh, this is reversed. And the only card that's upright is the one in the center. Yeah, it's the one in the center that's ready to receive the serpent. Now, serpents have not really been held in too high of esteem. Let's go into that because we're receiving the serpent energy, potentially. There are so many different snakes, okay? There are so many different kinds of serpents. Land serpents, water serpents, and just like a butterfly has to transform, a serpent does. They shed their skin routinely in order to embody a greater sense of themselves. Serpents can also be very defensive, but we can also say that in the way that serpents have their own sense of boundaries, have a greater acuity to their boundaries. And also they feel things out before they embrace things or engage things. They have to feel things out with their tongue. With all that being said, this is a time to embrace feeling things out before we get into them by remembering what we've been through, remembering different aspects, especially in this past 7 to 8 years, months, weeks, days, going back, doing a retrospective analyzation of that Virgo full moon that just passed earlier this month, becoming more clear and making decisions, because that's all we can do. Making decisions that strengthen us going forward so that we can free our minds. Because if this card were up, right, this fire down here, Aries, by the way, fire sign, okay? Yeah, babe, this is very restrictive. We want to stay open at this time to possibilities, to the unknown, to magical experiences, and trust in ourselves through remembering, okay? Through the sense of remembrance. It helps us to put together a reality that is made up of different elements, both familiar and completely new, with ease, grace, and great joy. That was the bottom of the deck energy, excerpt from the dynamic bottom of the deck energy. My nose itches. How dynamic is this? Fire is, it's a very free energy. I love when the cards have like a storyboard. Yeah, let's try not to embrace anxiety at this time. And remember that everything is conspiring in our favor. Wow, I turned the deck over and more cards stood out. Okay, this is about going forth with confidence and embracing our community, our teams with love, because we are being supported, so that we can embrace this 10 of Pentacles energy and nurture it. I'm so sick, guys. The Tower reverse. It's time to build. It's time to start building. The Chariot at the bottom. It's time to build. It's time to get going. It's time to start. My nose is leaky. That was a much longer reading than I anticipated. That was longer than any of the other readings that I did. But it makes sense because this is a really big time. And there will be more really big times. Don't you fret. Mostly I will try to upload shorter videos, but I mean, it is what it is. There's going to be an eclipse next month. It'll be shorter, but it'll be big, you know? Fingers crossed. All right, so thank you so much for watching this. I hope that the messages that came out in this video will help whoever watches with navigating their future with intention, given the messages that came out here today. I'm so grateful that you watched. I will be holding a live on the 21st. It's going to be a spring live. It's going to be here on YouTube and also on Instagram at 1 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you aren't able to show up during the live, it will hopefully be here on YouTube and definitely will be pinned on the Instagram for limitless light. You take care, you stay strong, stay loved, and remember, you got this. Bye.